Traces of ascending mist accumulate, not unlike the way a snowball gathers more snow as it rolls downhill. But in the case of an F5, the snowball is climbing toward the heavens. On a humid spring day, folks in Tornado Alley can turn their backs on the sky for just minutes to mow a lawn or wash a car. When they look up again, what was a cloud-free sky before has become blemished, more like dominated by a lone, sunlit, bright white, ominous cloud. The crisp cloud in my mind rapidly grows from a height of hundreds to thousands to tens of thousands of feet, blasting through the troposphere and into the stratosphere until it's 13 miles tall. This is a cumulonimbus cloud, and in its most radical, towering form, people say that it looks like the mushroom cloud that's associated with a nuclear explosion. Considering what an F5 tornado can do to both property and people, the metaphor isn't too far-fetched. According to the Fujita scale upon which the F5 classification is based, such a tornado can flatten homes, turn cars into airborne missiles, and debark trees. The Fujita scale is a widely accepted damage scale for categorizing tornadoes that's based on the havoc they wreak, and F5 is used only to identify the most destructive rotating winds, those that spin anywhere from an estimated 261 to 318 miles per hour. Created by University of Chicago meteorologist Tetsuya Ted Fujita in 1971, the scale's other 5 categories also use damage characteristics and estimated speeds to classify every other tornado. F0, under 73 miles per hour. F1, 73 to 112 miles per hour. F2, 113 to 157 miles per hour. F3, 158 to 206 miles per hour. And F4, 207 to 260 miles per hour. In 2007, the F scale was supplanted by a slightly modified, enhanced Fujita scale, or EF scale. For consistency, I've stuck with the F scale, which was in use for most of my early days of storm chasing, throughout this book. Whichever scale you use, to suggest F5 is to suggest almost unfathomable power. Sure enough, near the base of this imaginary and towering cumulonimbus cloud, forces are at work. Winds howl through the cloud at varying elevations, directions, and speeds. One gale from the southwest might blow at 50 miles per hour at an elevation of 6,000 feet. Another blows at 60 miles per hour from the west and at 10,000 feet. A third gust maintains 20 miles per hour near the Earth's surface. This phenomenon is called wind shear. The conflicting and contrasting winds push and pull the air inside the cloud until finally that air moves in a uniform circular current. Ultimately, the air inside the cloud begins to rotate on a horizontal axis, much the same way that laundry rotates inside a clothes dryer. The turbulence, however, has only just begun. The force of the updraft inside the cumulonimbus cloud acts like a crane, yanking and tilting the cylinder of rotating air inside the cloud as if it were a pipe that had to ultimately stand on one end. By the time the updraft inside the cloud is finished repositioning this cylinder of air, it's now spinning vertically, like a barber pole. Then the mesocyclone comes alive. I can picture it now, although anyone who is in the vicinity of such a cloud can't miss it. The mesocyclone, which is the rotating and rising air inside the cloud, is so powerful that it forces part, if not all, of the cloud to also turn. There's more to the spectacle, too. Miles in the sky, the warm and moist air that fed the growth of the cumulonimbus cloud has finally cooled, causing an upper layer of ice crystals to spread in all directions like a pancake. Now that same guy who was washing his car might look up and see a massive, glistening, flying saucer-shaped rotating cloud. If I were him, and this storm were real, I wouldn't be turning my back on the sky anymore.